Oh man, I hope they let me in.
Next.
Whoops, forgot my hat.
So I heard you tried to, get in with the family business, huh?
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you were expecting because they're kind of a rival. I'm willing to put it aside and let you join the Rat Pack. But there's one thing you should really know about the Rat Pack. We like using the Shortstop. It's our main little weapon. And we like to put those pesky little family business heavies in their place. And we'll give you a hefty cash grab, you know? Lots of money. So, are you gonna join? Or are we gonna have to kill you?
Yeah, I'll join. You won't regret this at all, I promise.
The Scout is the first class on the class selection menu, so clearly he must be some sort of superior attacker. And while Scout's role is to roam around the map and pick certain targets to go ahead and kill, Scout's typically the class most known for getting up in your face, being like a little fly that just won't leave you alone. He loves pestering people. I mean, heck, just try to find a Harvest game without a Scout. I promise you, 9 times out of 10, you will always see a Scout right up in your face. But what if you gave Scout a weapon that allows him to play a little further back, but still retain his fly-like capabilities? Well, meet the Shortstop. And like I say in all my weapon review videos at this point, these are just my thoughts, my opinions on the weapon, so if you don't like them, I don't know, go kick a bucket or something. With all that annoying YouTube stuff out of the way, let's get right into the video, shall we? Now, before I can talk about the benefits of running the Shortstop, we gotta talk about what exactly the Shortstop is. I mean, first of all, just look at those weapon stats. Like, that is something that is disgusting. Only red text? Wow, what a terrible weapon. The Shortstop is a pepper gun that has 4 shots within the clip, but has a faster attack interval than any of the other primaries that Scout has. And like Spy's revolver, it reloads the entire clip at once. Okay, great, cool, end video there. Nice mid-range weapon, 0 downsides, of course. Yeah, okay, you got me. There's some downsides. Let's talk about them. Alright, you know what it is. I'm gonna say it, everybody does. Most of the viewers that are watching this video aren't actually subscribed. So if you're liking what you're seeing, be sure to subscribe. Alright, back to the video. Let's talk about those downsides that the Shortstop has. And no, I'm not talking about the red text that while the weapon's active, you take extra pushback. That actually helps Scout and you get into situations where you want to be, further away from the enemy, thus strengthening the Shortstop. What I'm actually going to talk about is the lower damage that you deal with this, because there is no ramp up damage, unlike the scattergun. Alright, so what? You keep saying mid-range this, mid-range that. So you know how Team Fortress 2 has a plethora of maps that have areas that are just hallways? Yeah, so the Shortstop not being able to deal with close ranged enemies will get you killed a lot of the time because maps such as Turbine, Two Fort Sewers, and a lot of the older payload maps are just hallways. The Shortstop is just going to suck because it can't deal with those threats. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. I'm just saying you'd be better using the scattergun, obviously, since stock is the most reliable. But let's just talk about something that just sucks and it's useless, and why would you ever use it? The Shortstop shove. It's useless. Don't use it. Don't use it. Don't use it. Just don't. Okay, we're cool? We're cool. Alright, let's talk about some weapon synergies you can run with this weapon. Alright, to start off the weapon synergies, I gotta talk about my favorite loadout with this. Shortstop, Criticola, and the Candy Cane. This loadout is a whole bunch of fun. The Criticola just buffs the further range that you get to use with the Shortstop. You get to snipe people with it, and mini crits, if you didn't already know, remove the damage fall off. So you get to do a lot more damage. And then with the Candy Cane, once you get that kill, you can rush in and then get your health back. It's just a very satisfying combo to pull off, and then also your your biggest enemy, soldiers with rockets, they're not really going to hit you if you're further back, ideally. So the downside on the candy cane is very much so negated when you're using this shortstop and critical combo. Also, just one little downside with this is that if you get hit by the rocket, yes, since you could take mini crits, that means the one rocket will just instantly kill you. But I argue that's just more of a skill issue than a loadout issue. I've died to this multiple times, by the way. All right, the second loadout that I would have to suggest, the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol, is just great in general, but the pistol is also good here too. Just being able to use it as its intended use, a finisher, the flying guillotine, we'll talk more about later, and really any melee weapon, it doesn't matter too much. It's not like any of them give it any extra use. They're all just pretty nice. But if you're really committed to the whole mid-range thing, using the Rap Assassin can be pretty nice since you get a ball, you could bleed enemies. Speaking of which, gets us to the last loadout and very iconic for me and my dear friends, in which you, the viewer, can go ahead and use this subclass if you want. I like to call it the Rat Pack Scout. Now, what is the Rat Pack Scout? The Rat Pack Scout is a scout with the shortstop, the flying guillotine, and the Boston Basher, all being things that are good mid-range, with the exception of the Boston Basher, which is just bleed close range when, you know, you need it the most, and it's like that emergency weapon. So you guys can go ahead and do that. But that leaves us with the overarching question: how good is the shortstop? Well, the shortstop, I would have to give it a 7 out of 10, and I did not expect this at first when I was first using the weapon, but it's pretty intuitive. The only things that hold it back are just, well, some maps, not even a lot of them, just a very decent amount. And yeah, if you know how to use it and you're in the right mindset, the shortstop can be a very great weapon. Now, a lot of people say it's not good, it's very undervalued because, you know, scattergun and even by extension the soda popper are two of Scout's most used primaries. But if you want to take a break from the meta, it's a good alternative to use. So go out there, get a shortstop, and heck, even shove people off a cliff if you need to. Just use it and have fun.